Welcome to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Now yesterday we got to the point where our geckos can't knock us off the screen anymore. Right? So they don't walk through us and they can't knock us off the screen anymore, which is good. But if you look at when we collide with them, we get some weird stuff happening. So the collision with them and us is just a little janky. So we're going to be trying to fix that today. Now I've got two ideas. So I can walk you guys. See, look, like, oh my god, like that, like when we're, oh, what the heck? It's so jacked up. That is so weird. What is really messed up is the, oh my god, it's so bad. Yeah, we really need to fix this. So like, see, look at that, how he just kind of teleported on the other side of me when I walked in on him. It's because, yeah, see, like that, they just teleport. It's because of the way we're reassigning their X and Y position based on certain collision. So like, this is what I was explaining yesterday, right? So this is one idea how to fix it. Because when this square is our player, but the dark red is the hitboxes, right? So like, this is actually my proposed solution. So what is happening right now is that we just have collision for the bottom half of our character because of the top 2D perspective, top-down perspective. So right now what we're doing is we're actually checking, this is a left collision, this is a right collision, but those have overlapping spots with our bottom collision and our top. So when we were to have a character come in from over here, and we'll just do a different color for that character. When we were to have a character colliding right here, it would default to whatever we defined first as a collision. So this could have been a character coming down, so it should reposition its Y to be up to where it was before it collided. But if it's in this gray area where this left collision and this top collision is technically both true, then it just depends on which function call we did, which order of function calls we did. Like, are we checking left collision first, then top collision, or something else? So we have to come up with a solution. Now, yesterday, the solution I proposed was to shrink our hitboxes so that if we were, see, look at that character. Now, instead of triggering a top collision as well, it's actually only triggering a left collision. So it would then reset its position to be on the left side of our player instead of potentially up, which is why we're getting those geckos teleporting on the other side of us. What up, Katron? How's it going, dude? I hope you're having a good weekend, homie. Hey, did you watch Whitest Kids You Know? I hope you did. So one thing about this tactic is I think I'm not so sold on this, because you should check them out. We're like, or save it for when you're bored, and then you'll have like a whole plethora of stuff to kind of sit through. So like maybe you sit on it until you're having like a sick day or something. That's another good move. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to go about this route, and I think it's because I just don't like how big of a jump we can technically make it. So like when we were having a guy up here and we were resetting its X position, like let's say we had our old logic and our right collision box is coming up here, up this high. Then when this character was here, depending on the order of operations, it might have said, oh, that's a right collision, so let's go ahead and move that entity over to the right side so it's no longer colliding. But that's moving a whole sprite width over to the right. I don't really like that. So I'm trying to think of a way to do something better. This is good, and I think this will work for a majority of cases, but maybe we give that a shot. Maybe we give this method a shot, and if it still isn't cutting it, then we go ahead and we go try something completely different. Because, like, my only other idea to do is to basically unapply the velocity that our character used to have. So, like, we've got a dx and a dy for our entities. So if on a collision, if on the frame that there's a collision, we say, instead of setting us to an arbitrary x and y, what we do is we just say, hey, take your dx and basically modify your x position to be the opposite of that dx, and same with your dy. And that way it would essentially reverse its position to be the point, the frame before it collided. So that actually might make more sense to me. So, like, if there's any amount of collision, because then we don't even have to do our top, down, left, and right collision. We just detect collision, period. And if there is a collision with our player, then go ahead and undo the velocity x and velocity y that you just applied to yourself. Just go ahead and undo that, and then it would be no longer colliding. I think that might work. I think that might work, and it sounds cleaner than this idea, because we could potentially get rid of 4 functions determining which side of collision we're actually detecting. I'm not exactly sure that can work, though. I've never tried it, but maybe today is a good day for miracles. So let's get going here. So we can take a look at what we're doing in our scene, and it's actually, I want to say it's in our entity walk state that we're actually doing this repositioning. We should be doing, I guess we're not doing it here. We're doing it where? In our scene? The other thing we got to figure out, hopefully soon, is that we have to figure out the sprite cutoffs for when a character is off screen. So like watch, I'll try to knock a gecko into the bottom here, and then I'll transition. Well, I'll try to knock a gecko into the bottom and then transition screens. Okay. Dang it. But basically it's chopping, look at his head cut off, and we walk over there and see it sliced his head off on those changes. Oh, it's okay, dude. So Super King, if you want to raid, you do a /raid, and then you follow it up with the channel name after a space in your chat bot. Yo, there you go. Hey, there you go. Yo, I appreciate the raid, homie. I hope your stream went well for the end of it. I know I caught the first part of it. Hey, it did work. It was just a little late. Yo, look at all the bombs, dude. I love the freaking raids. Yo, thanks for the raid, dude. That was fun. So yeah, we're working on some stuff. We're trying to fix the weird collision detection we've got for our entities here, so they can knock us into the wall, but not push us off anymore. But when we collide with them, we're resetting their positions, and that is just getting finicky. Like that, he kind of teleported when I did that. They shouldn't do that. They should only ever move a small distance. So we're trying to figure that out today. Now my working idea is we reverse their dx and dy. Ian chat, my bad. But yeah, so Super King, if you are curious about my setup still, you know, we're in NeoVim here and in Tmux. I've got Harpoon, which is this plugin that I can pull up with a click of a button, and I can pin different files that I want to be able to hop to. And then it's actually like these first 4 are mapped to hotkeys on my keyboard here, so I can switch between those 4 really fast without even pulling up Harpoon. But then I can go through here, and I can even use NeoVim stuff to hop through even in there if I want. But it's just a way to kind of navigate faster in NeoVim. And then, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, I think, is Harpoon. That looks a little weird. But then, you know, we've got a fuzzy finder here that we can pull in any file or any file name that we're looking for to kind of look at, and then, yeah, our tmux. So that's the setup. Let me know if you have any other questions, because I don't want people to feel like it's out of reach or like not understandable, because for me it's just I just like the cleanness of it. Yeah, so I picked up NeoVim from looking at I know I'll get people who come into the stream and just talk crap about NeoVim and then leave. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I do NeoVim because I saw a programmer who's on Twitch. He actually just quit his job and is full-time on Twitch now, the Primogen. And I watched a video of him like moving at the speed of light in NeoVim, and I was like, what is going on? So I watched his setup. He has a 0 to LSP tutorial, how to configure NeoVim. So I hopped over there, and then I just started learning it. So I'm probably only like 7 months into NeoVim or so. I used Sublime before that, which I like Sublime Text. And now that I've got a new laptop, I tried to use VS Code, and it was so freaking slow. So I really hated it. But now I actually have a laptop from this decade, and now it can actually run things fast. So, VS Code might not rub me as wrong as it did, but I'm a NeoVim homie all the way, because like, even if my NeoVim config is bust, I still got Vim, and most of my stuff still works in Vim, so I can just navigate through that, and that gets me where I'm going. So I like that the skills from NeoVim are translatable, and I even put on, well, what's cool about too is JetBrains has got the NeoVim key bindings to toggle on, at least in like, I'm in WebStorm right now for JetBrains, and I can put on NeoVim mode and just hop around like that, so I'm liking that. So yeah, I think we're gonna first try my second idea, which is gonna be, we're gonna try to undo the X velocity and the Y velocity upon a collision, instead of doing, for my boot camp, we're in WebStorm right now. At least for the pre-work before the boot camp actually starts. I don't know where it's going from there, but we're just in WebStorm for some basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And then Super King, for your mic setup, so your SM7B is dynamic, just like this SM58. So if you use phantom power on that thing, it'll make it sound worse. So don't use phantom power on it. You're gonna want some clean gain from a preamp. A lot of people have the cloud lifter for the SM7B, or there's like some USB gain options, or I also do audio production, so I've got a little mixer with preamps and stuff. So you're gonna want to boost the signal, because your thing was buzzing because you were trying to boost the gain higher than the signal was supposed to be read at. So there's that factor, and then there's the factor of your signal to noise ratio. So the closer you're talking to your mic, the less gain you have to put on, which means the less noise you're going to be amplifying. So those are the two things. It's like, make sure you get clean gain, and then reduce your signal to noise ratio if you want, that crisp audio. But I know you're working it out. So like, keep it up. And it wasn't unbearable. It wasn't unbearable once you got that noise gate on there. but audio is super important. So like I know it's super important. So like anything you can do to kind of smooth out some of that stuff will really help the stream. Okay, nice. Yeah, he can help you out with some OBS settings too. Yeah, and it's weird to use too through like OBS or through the computer. It's a little strange. Like I literally have to plug it into my I plug it into my actual audio mixer and do it from there, and then line out from that into my computer. Okay. So we're gonna look for when we have our collides function for our player and our entity here. So it is I want to say it's called top collide or something. Yeah, so we actually gave either our player or we gave our entity a collision for our map objects. Yeah, where is that? I really do have to just take a day and try to absorb all of my all of the fragmented files in here and try to like really know, because like I can't even find the spot I'm looking for right now. I don't even know which look at how many different files we've got, and I've got different logic in all of these things and different state machines. So like I'm really just trying to find the spot where we're doing the collision for our entities and our player. Let's check our player. We should be... Wow. Yeah, we really aren't doing it there. Okay, left collides with the map object, right collides the map object. Okay, so we're actually using these collides with a map object function for our entity detection. Because of the top-down perspective, it shrinks the top side of our bounding box. So we're actually looking for these... Yeah, we're actually looking for where we call these functions, not just where we define them. Hey, nice laser, nice win. Okay, and you know what? We're so dumb right now because we could have just searched player to entity collision and found it right away with our grep search. See, look, like this is in our map, which I guess it makes sense because our entities are in our map. So really, I thought, I mean, are there two different versions? I thought for sure the SM7B was dynamic. Okay, hey, that's cool. I'm glad that's worked out. That's awesome. Yeah, I thought for sure it was dynamic. Maybe I know they just came out with like a new one too that comes with some extra gain boost on there. Okay, so this is it. This is it. Hey, I like the bees. Save the bees. You're doing your part. Okay, so here's the thing. We're setting, upon a collision with the entity here, we're setting our position to be essentially right before, like right outside of what would detect a collision for that top. So it's like, if we detect a top collision, we're only modifying its Y position, not its X. When we're just setting it to be higher, up to be flush with like the top right before it would collide. So I think instead of doing this, nice. Which, I mean, what part of the YouTube did you scroll back to the first one and be like, oh, if this guy can do it, anybody could do it? Because that's kind of my first thought when you say that. But I mean, in a good way, because I literally do this to show people that you don't have to be a professional to do it, because I'm clearly not a professional, and it just takes the consistency, and then you start to see your progress. And I love seeing the numbers. It's like on my YouTube, like I number them, so I'm up to like 350 now or something. So I just love seeing the number go up. I'm a simple man. So yeah, I'm thinking instead of doing all of these side collisions. Oh, see, because there is an instance that we need to know which side we collide, because we need to know how to bounce our player. Because when we get hit, our player will bounce in the opposite direction they were hit from. So I think we do still need this way of saying, hey, we need to check every side of collision because we need to know which way to bounce us. But then maybe we need to just reset our Y position, not to... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, instead of hard coding our Y to be a certain position, I wanna say maybe we just update our DY to be the opposite of what it was. Oh no, we're crapping out. Oh, that's a bummer. I don't know why it does this. Oh no. Crap. Sorry guys, I do not know what's going on. We've already cramped out twice today, so maybe it's an ISP problem. I don't get why it does it. So my current idea is to not change our Y position, but to essentially, well, yeah, we kind of have to. Damn it, I don't know how to fix this. You know what? Let's do our first idea, which is we're just going to modify our hitboxes to be a little more detailed. So we're going to shrink our hitboxes. Right now, the top hitbox is going all the way across. Same as bottom, and then left and right, so that we're having these spots here are technically one of two collisions, and depending on the order of operations we run our functions in, it'll move our character potentially a whole axis different. So if we shrink these things, then this blue box is an example of what an entity collision might look like, and instead of triggering a top collision here like it normally would, hopefully it's walking slow enough that we actually only trigger this left collision. That way we know that this is for a fact a left collision. We just reset it over to the left. Then if it was a little more higher, a little more to the right, it would be a top collision. Dude, I don't know. It's not just your app, it's my stream too. Like, my stream is just dumping. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I wish I knew how to prevent it, because it's really frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I got fast enough internet. I know I got fast enough internet. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to shrink these hitboxes. So we need to go to our functions, and instead of doing all the way, we need to pick an amount of pixels to kind of shrink our hitbox by. And I'm not sure what. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the wind. It was windy today. Maybe the wind is just giving Xfinity some issues. I'll give everybody some gold for their troubles. Yeah, so let's try this. We're gonna go up to where we define these functions. Man, and you know what? I used to have a way to hop to the function definition, but I'm not able to do that anymore. I can do it there, whatever. So we're gonna be, and it's a little hard for me to navigate because I set the text so big, and that's one, because I need glasses if it's further than this, but two, so it's easier for people to follow along on stream. Because like normally I would probably scale it down to here so I can see more lines of my code at once. But that's really small for you guys, I think, if you want to follow along. So yeah, I think that's just too small. I like being able to see the code because there's so many streams I watch and I'm like having to squint at people's code because it's so tiny. And I'd rather people be able to follow what I'm doing a bit easier. So I believe this is in our player class. We need to go find this. Dude, where is it? Gotta be in our entity. If it's not, okay, it's in our entity. Okay. Okay, so this is the AABB collision for our map objects. Now, I don't think we actually want to tweak this. I think we want to make a new function for colliding with entities. Because if we tweak this, it'll affect how we're actually colliding with our map objects, which is stuff like the log cabin up here, and the tree stump, and all that stuff. So we don't really want to change any of that logic. We just want to change how our entities are colliding with us. So I think we need all new functions. So we can go ahead and write some AABB from scratch right here. So let's do we have a general left collides? Okay, so this will be, yeah, I think we're gonna call it, so we're gonna give ourselves a function here, and it's gonna be entity colon left collides with another entity. And the entity is a target, whatever. We could call it entity, whatever. But, so here's the AABB. We're going to actually return the opposite of this value. So like, basically what we're trying to do is compare our position with our target's position. And we're trying to ask any question that we know is not a collision, and then we're returning the opposite. So that we would only return false if we are not colliding with an object. So like it's a little backwards, but it makes sense to me at least. So we want to see if the left side of our player's hitbox, now this is what we're going to have to shift by a certain amount of pixels for this new. And what I'll do is I'll pull up this as a reference, because this is the this is the image that we're gonna need to reference here. So we have to decide how many pixels this little buffer is. Is this really 16 by 16? Oh, okay, that's why. Ooh, excuse me, I gotta sneeze. It's not happening. Okay, so this is actually a 16 by 16. Now, this is an artist rendition of our actual hitbox. It is not quite, this isn't accurate, but this is to get us there. So yeah, we might need a 2 pixel buffer there for the edges. Okay, so these rectangles, all these dark red rectangles, these are the sides. For each of these rectangles, we need to do our AABB for the appropriate side of the collision. So I'm going to leave this up. Oh, lordy. Yeah, we're going to leave that up so that we can reference it. And then keep going. So our left collision here, we're checking if the left side of us, which is our self.x. Now, we added in a +1 buffer. So what that looks like is just this red shifted over to the left one. Now, we do that because of our player's nose is 1 pixel away from the edge of the 16 by 16 sprite sheet. So if we didn't add that +1, it would collide 1 frame before it's actually touching our player. So that's why this 1 is here. So I think we'll keep that. So we're seeing if the left side of our player is greater than the right side of our target. Or the right side of our bounding box, which is 2 pixels wide, but since we have a +1, we have to do a +3. That sounds so stupid when I say it out loud, but that's, yeah. So we're trying to see the right side of our left collide bounding box is smaller than the left side of our target. And then we need to check our Y positions. So we're going to say if the top of us, now the top of us is actually here at this white, but the top of our bounding box is this white plus 8 pixels. So we have to add the +8. Yeah, and +8 gets us to the top of this, but we have to add our +2 buffer that we didn't have. That actually makes it different than our current functions that we're running on it. So we have to actually put in a +10. So we're checking if the top of our bounding box is greater than the bottom of our target. So our target Y plus our target height. Or the bottom of our bounding box, which we need to subtract. We're going to have, so self.y plus self.height is the bottom of our box. And then -2 for that 2 pixel buffer. And you know what? We actually kind of are doing... Yeah, you know what? We actually are doing this already. Let me pull up. Huh. Let me pull up something real quick, because the fact that this is a -2 tells me that the bottom of our left collide bounding box isn't overlapping with our bottom collision detection. So I'm going to pull up our our image of, and actually, yeah, we don't have an image. We don't have an image of our bounding box because our logic is actually just right here. So the best way to figure it out is to look at this. So yeah, our -2. Okay. So we really are already doing this. So I guess that leaves me a little stumped on what to do to fix the issue we're having. Yeah, it looks like we're already doing it. Let's walk through our right collides with a map object and see if we're shrinking it by that little amount there. So our right collides, if our entity right collides with a target, now we're running the function on our player, so this would be, our self would be our player, our target would be our entity, so we're checking if the left side of us, the left side of our width, so yeah, we've got a 3. You know what, I feel like this needs to be 2. No, we've got 3 up here as well. Oh man, why? Why are we doing it, man? Why are we doing it? Sorry, YouTube, we keep crashing. Shoot, man. That's such a bummer. I really hate when that happens. Oh, come on, man. What is going on? Come on, dude. I'm gonna blame Twitch on this one. I don't get it. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on tonight. Yeah, we've already crapped out 3 times. Sorry about that. So yeah, it looks like we're already shrinking this, because if our boxes were pure, we wouldn't be adding 3 here. Yeah, let me finish walking through. Let's walk through the top collides and see if there's that buffer built in. So we're checking if the top side of our map object, okay, so this is actually wrong. Because this, actually, no, yeah, this is our left, okay, no, this is our left side. So our left side plus, see, this is actually, yeah, I think this is wrong. No, this 3 is actually that buffer we're building in here. So it's 2 pixels of a buffer plus the 1 pixel for the nose is smaller than the right side of our target, or the right side of us minus the 3 pixels to be symmetrical, or our self y plus 6. And maybe this is what's kind of incongruent, is that we're checking a different y position for our right collides. No, that should be 2 taller because it's offset by 2 more pixels downwards. So I don't know what's happening. We're actually already doing this. In our bottom collides, yeah, we've got that same x offset, target width, and then we're checking the right side of us minus the same amount, or our height minus the 2 pixels, and then or the bottom of us smaller than y. So we are already doing this, so I don't know why. Shoot. I don't know why it's given us so many issues. See, like that. Why did he teleport like that? Why are we detecting a left collision instead of a right collision? Oh, it's like all of our right collisions are fucked. Okay, yeah, hold on a second. It's just our right collision that's fucked. So... But it's not... Yeah, it's not screwed up here. It's screwed up. Our detection for it is right. What we're messing up is when we assign our entity location. So we're actually going to go to where we are calling this function. Yes, so when we right collide, we're setting our entity to become... Yeah, this is so silly. We're just doing the absolute wrong thing here. We just need to set it to the right side of our player, not the left side of our player. Okay. Okay. Oh man, what are the odds that old me actually did the thing right and that new me just had a stupid bug? I like this. I like this a lot. Yeah, such a bummer we crashed on the stream. We're actually having some fun with peeps. Okay, well, maybe we're back up. Okay. I like this. They're giving me smooches. Okay, I think we're good. So I think the next thing we want to fix is our geckos being cut off on the render when we scene transition. So before we had that fixed because we actually had our geckos in the map object, in the map class instead of, or in the scene class instead of the map. So in our game, what we're calling the map is the current screen we're on is a map instantiation, and that gets all the tiles, all the entity spawns, and a location on the global map grid. But what a scene is like, think of a layer on top of a map, and the scene is what holds the reference to the current map and the next map once we transition, and it'll transition the next map over on top, and our player exists in the scene because he needs to be able to walk and not scroll off, unlike the map objects. But I'm kind of curious. Yeah, and you know what? Our map? Oy. I'm kind of curious what is beneath our HUD if we don't draw a little HUD down there. I want to say it's nothing. And then it would appear as something as soon as we begin a transition. So let's see if that's the case. And then we can see if we can fix this bug with our entity renders. So we're going to go see we're going to go find our HUD here. Yeah, so what if instead of rendering our HUD, we just don't render that? And you know what? Yeah, we're clearing it to gray, which is why. Okay, so the question is, will this pop up with bricks as soon as we begin a transition? Yes, it does. Okay, so the issue is when geckos are in that space on the map, they get cut off during a transition, which technically makes sense. And we can't, and you know what? If we knock down a gecko down there, oh, that's cool. Oh, see, look, we can still see him down there. So we can see him there, but as soon as we transition, they get cut off. And you know what? It might be better to just walk them off like this. And then smack them. We actually prevented them from being down there, so we can't actually knock them down there. So I think what we have to do is we have to cleanse them and then wait till they're walking and then see how he got cut off there. How do we prevent that? We could... We'd have to move our entities back into our scene if we want to do that. I think we got to move them back into the scene, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. So, let us... Really, all we did is change a minus to a plus so far. And it's been 47 minutes. But that's okay. We'll keep going here. I think what we're gonna do... I think we're gonna go to our map. And we're gonna comment out our map, our entity... What? Our entity instantiations? So our entities don't exist in our map class, they exist in our map table, our global map table. So I think what I'm going to do is comment this out real quick so that we can say, okay, this is right here. So this is all of our entity logic for our collisions. Now, as long as, and actually, let me see. And then, okay, so then, and then this is where our entities are being updated, is inside our map. So we're going to move it. Yo, you're betting big. You're betting big. What happened? What happened? Oh, no. Oh, no. What happened? All right. It's okay, dude. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Merry Christmas. Okay, so we're gonna not only take out our entity collision detection, but as well as our entity updates and AI processes. So we need to move this out of our map class into our scene class. And it used to be in scene class, and we took it out because it makes a little more sense to be part of the map in my brain. But in practice, it doesn't make it accessible to draw them in between a scene transition because the map itself is transitioning and the map is a certain size. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Lua has got dash or hyphen whatever you call it for comments. And then what's cool, and I never see anyone in Lua actually do this, but I read some Lua documentation, and you can uncomment whole blocks by just adding one more dash up there. So it's like comment it out, and then you can comment it back in like that with just the addition of one dash. So that's a neat little Lua trick I learned from actually reading some documentation. But yeah, we're taking our entity stuff out of the map. And I don't know why the stream's crashing. I don't know why it's crashed four freaking times already. But yeah, we're going into our scene. And this is where our logic used to live for our entities. But let's see. Where do we want to put this? After map object collisions? Yeah, why not? So if our scene is not shifting, we're going into our entities at the current map row, and this was part of our this self.row was actually part of our map class. So let's see what that is. In our map class, our self.row is the row of our current map. So I think what we want to pass in here in our scene is not a self.row, it is a self.current row. It's a current map.row is what it is. And a self.current map.column. I want to say that's right, but we want to switch it for all this stuff. Let's see, self. I guess we can just substitute here any self.row with self.current map.row. And then we want to do substitute any self.column with self.current map column. No, dot column. Yes. So instead of rendering it at the self.row, which was our maps row, we're going to our scene's current map row and trying to render them there. Let's see if they pop up now. Nope. Scene 175 is crashing. Our self.entity count is pulled from our map class, and our self.entity count is what? It is a variable here. So what we'll do is we'll give ourselves yeah, I guess we can do it just not here, right here. Yeah, I don't like this. We want to set our entity count here. And it's actually our entity count. I think this is actually, yeah, see, this needs to be to our current map. So as soon as we instantiate our current map, we're gonna set, let's put it up here. We're gonna set this at our map row map column. Yeah, what happens? Is it not? Oh, there you go. It's just late. I don't know. Okay, well, we got our geckos here, so that's good. They're no longer part of our map. They're part of our scene. Now the question is if they're walking off. Oh, fuck! Oh shit! Scene 178. We crash. This is tough. I don't know what it crashed there. Why it crashed there, let's see. Scene 178, index and nil value. So our current map row and map column is wrong. Oops. Self.current map. Yeah, dot row. Because our map class has got the dot row field and column, yeah. But why is that a nil value? What's going on? I want to say that this is... Let me just see. I'm curious if this line is doing it, is crashing us. So I'm just going to put in like a 3. And you know what? We'll add to our list that we got to get mob debugger working on Lua so that we can actually have some proper debugging, because it's getting tough. It's getting tough to guess what the bugs are. We just aren't given any information here, so we need to figure that out. So we need to do... What do we need to do different? So we've got an entity count. Oh, and maybe this is... Since this is actually in our scene, maybe we can just say that. If self-shifting. And then all these scene views can actually be self. I did what I always do, which is exit before I save the substitution. Okay, let's see that. Now we've still got scene views here, but I did it again. I did it. I do the work and then I just don't save it. Okay. What's going on, man? Scene 178. Why would our entities be nil here? We're not assigning, upon a finished transition, we're not assigning our... You know what? No, I think we are. All we have to do is make sure we're reassigning our current map to be our next map, and we are doing that in a finished transition. It's actually called finish shifting. So if we finish shifting, we take our current map and assign it to be the next map. So it wouldn't be a nil value unless our next map was a nil value. But we assign our next map upon a beginning shifting, which is right here. And actually, Yeah, we actually aren't instantiating a next map object. Are we really not doing that? Oh no, we do it right here on the transition here. Okay. So why are we crashing? We have a next map. The next map is being assigned to our current map. So upon a finished shifting, our current map gets to be assigned this next map. So I guess if this next map doesn't have any entities, it doesn't know how to loop through, because we don't instantiate every table with an empty entities table, unless we do. Let's see. We'll go to our map declarations. We'll make sure. So see, look how we've got a we do have a table of entities for every map object. Well, and this actually isn't every map object. Okay, maybe that's the problem. So, well, let's see. Because just because it's in a map, just because we have an entity table in our map doesn't mean it's actually part of our map object, because our map at this 2D array index actually stores a map object, so those two things are different. So I think we might have to do... This is weird because I thought we had done this earlier. We used to have this in our scene, and we moved it into our map. So I don't know what we did differently. Yeah, and it's in our dot entities at our index of the ith location. So it's almost like, oh, and you know what? It's because we're assigning this loop to be entity count, and entity count is only one thing. Let me see. So if I guess I'm curious if we put, yeah, see, and that's why if we put 0 here, does that mean we don't crash? Okay. So I think that is the problem. So what it's trying to do is, since we don't have an actual entity count, I mean, what we did have was an entity count gets the number of entities in our map declared entities, but since that's an empty table, it's trying to index into that empty table, and it can't do anything. So I'm wondering if we go into our map declarations and just give like a dummy value of 0. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that would fix anything. Let's see if we go to our map declarations, and instead of doing our entities, getting an empty table, what if we say that table has exactly one value and that value is 0, so that once it indexes into it, it sees that there's a value and it sees that it's 0, so it sets the for loop to 0 and then it doesn't do anything. So let's see if that fixes, well, yeah, try to attempt to index a number value. Okay, so you can't even do that. But we're doing... Really? This is really strange to me. it says you can't index a nil value because, and maybe what we can do is say, maybe we only assign this entity count if the number of map. See, but I think this is, well, let's see. If the number of the things that are in this entity table is equal to 0, actually, we're just going to say if it's greater than 0, then we're going to assign our entity count. But before, we want to set our entity count to 0, so it has a value that isn't nil. Shit. And you know what? I think this might be a problem of doing it at a map row, map column, because this is actually our scene doesn't get reinstantiated. So I think we might, gosh, how do we do this? Yeah, I think we don't ever actually like make a new scene. We just have a scene that gets a starting map row and map column. So we actually want to set, I think we want to set this entity count only upon a finished transition or something like that. Okay, so I think what we need to do is we need to initialize, we can go ahead and initialize our self.entity count to be whatever the map and row column instantiation for our scene is. But upon a finished transition, we need to update our scene's self.entities with the correct amount of, I guess I don't know why that would make a difference. Yo, nice one, aka Bob, nice one. What the heck? Cherries, you just get your money back? You just got your money back, though. You didn't even win. You just didn't lose. You get the thrill of seeing the cherries. You know, I can change that. I'll change that. I'll add that to my notes here, and I'll change that because that's unacceptable. We'll make cherries like twice as much as that, at least. Okay, so I think the move here is we instantiate our self-entity count to be equal to the entities of whatever map row column we set. Now, I'm kind of curious, if we keep that, we can run our game and we don't crash here. Oh. Okay, yeah, we'll change that. That's messed up. I feel like we can boost some of that stuff. So like we don't crash here, but I'm curious if we spawn in at scene 1-1 if we crash. So we'll see that if we go to our play state and we go to where we declare our scene, which is right here, and we go to scene 1-1 instead of scene 1-2. I wonder if we crash. We don't. So we are able to index 0. It's just that when we go, well, why is this working now? Oh, see, look, that's jacked up. Our entities aren't even updating here. And that's because we're never updating our entity count. So, well, no, actually, I don't know why that is. Let's go back to 2. So what we want to do is in our scene, we want to make sure that we assign this entity count upon a finished transition. So we'll go finish shifting, and we'll make sure that we actually set our entity count here after basically like the last thing we do. Oh, and look at this. We used to have a new instantiation of a scene view. I don't think that makes a ton of sense at the moment, but we'll say that this is actually a current map row, and this is in our scene, so it's a self.currentMap.row, which is ultimately our new map. So we actually, because our current map gets our next map, so yeah, then we're gonna be getting our current map, which is our previous new map. Okay, let's see. Hey, that stopped us from crashing. So, okay, so now, oh, we're not walking diagonal now. What the flip? What? What? Now we are. What the heck? Okay, what is that about? How did that bug happen? Okay, well, are geckos chasing us? Yeah, they are. We got collision. Okay, that's cool. So let's see if I'm going to try to get a gecko to walk off screen, and we're going to transition while it's in the middle of walking, and it still gets cut off. I thought for sure that would fix that problem. Yeah, I remember bars as the big boy. That gives you, is that times 10? I'm really confused here how to get our geckos to render on screen here. During a transition. Well, I'm really confused. Let me see if we've got our invisible bumping bug from last time. No? Okay. Well, so one thing that makes me think that this is actually possible to pull off is that we can see geckos. We can see geckos in that black spot down there where the HUD used to be. We can see geckos down there and they don't get cut off. So I want to know what the difference is when we begin shifting, why it cuts them off. So look, we'll walk off the right side of the screen as this guy is going right, and we'll watch it cut off his head. Yeah, totally cut him off. Maybe we have to... Shit, I don't know. You know what? I might revert what I did in the second half of this episode. Do a commit and a push, and then pull up our commit from maybe like a week ago or something, and see see if they got cut off before we moved our entity system into our scene instead, or into our map instead of our scene. So we might do that. So I think what I'm gonna do, which kind of sucks, but I think I'm gonna get stash all of my work, and then I'm gonna just fix our bug, which was when we did our if we search for player to entity, we will find it, and all we need to do to fix our bug is change this minus into a plus, and that fixes our bug, and we're back to where we are at the beginning of the episode, except with that fixed bug. So I think I'm going to make a commit here. Yeah, it cuts off our gecko. So I think I'm going to make a commit here. So I'm going to say smallest commit ever, literally changing a minus to a plus. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna push that bad boy. So what I do want to do is see before we moved our geckos into our scene. So look, we need to fix entities in scene view. I guess I kind of want to see. I guess we'll just pick like a random thing to revert to. How do you check? Is it just get checkout? Get checkout this thing, commit hash. I know I can get reset, but I don't exactly remember if that screws anything up. I'm just gonna read some documentation here real quick. Let me see if can you get checkout commit hash? I guess we'll just try a get reset. And I'm actually gonna take this down. Yeah, we'll try a get reset here. Get reset, and we'll give it the commit hash from a couple days ago. We'll try to do this. We'll do it on DDCE343. Okay. Okay. Now, do we still have our new stuff? No, we don't. Okay, we just have to make sure to not commit or anything like this, I think. I don't exactly know. But we'll go here. Okay, let's see if our geckos are cut off. Yeah, they are cut off. Okay, so maybe I just didn't realize it. Oops. Well. Okay, how do we reset our head back to the initial? commit there, or that most recent commit. Let's do a get reset to be a 557 ACEB. Okay, we're back. Okay. Well, we literally changed one minus sign to a plus sign today. It did fix the main issue we were trying to fix, so that's good. But we aren't figuring out the rendering of the geckos off screen like that while we transition. Well, and when you think about it, if they didn't get cut off there, they would be on screen here during the end of the transition, and as soon as that transition stopped, they would disappear. So that's almost worse, right? You know what? I will play Link's Awakening and look at what they do for stuff like that. Although, yeah, I don't think they really have things walking off screen where you can initiate a transition during that scene transition. So I'll do some thinking about what I want to do for that. I think, I don't know. I'll play around in Link's Awakening and I'll try to see what feels right, but maybe it does make sense to just cut them in half there because they aren't coming on to the next screen. That isn't part of the game. So if they do become part of the scroll, then as we stop scrolling, they would just disappear. So I think it might be okay that we cut them off mid scroll, but I kind of don't like that. Ideally I would want them to be part of the transition, and during the transition they fade to transparent. Like, that would be the smoothest looking thing, because then we don't have geckos without heads if we do a transition while they're walking off. So I might try to think about how we do that, but that would mean we have to not only fix this issue where we can draw them during the scene transition, but we would also have to change their transparency value for the rendering, which we're actually not updating. We're not updating them, but we could give ourselves a variable to keep track of the transparency fade, but yeah, I don't know. I'll do some thinking about it. I think it would look better if we had them transitioning and then just fade away. So, yo, hitting big at the end of the stream here. We already made our commit, so we are good to go. I'm going to be working on a credit screen for our game so that we can thank our credited supporters and subscribers of the channel. I'm looking at you, aka Bob and Kchonix and Super King. So, like, I think it'd be cool to have that scrolling credit screen. I'll get working on that maybe in the next couple days here. I was supposed to meet up with my friend to talk about potential sound effects for the game today, but we're pushing that meeting till tomorrow, so we're gonna try that, and I'll keep you guys posted on what happens with that tomorrow, because we might have some sound effects for the game coming soon. And if he doesn't want to end up doing it, then I'll just make him on stream here with y'all. But he did show some interest in it, and I thought it'd be cool to just have a collaboration with some friends for the game. So we'll be doing that. I'm going to see if anyone is live that we can raid here. I know you just bet 500. I gave you 30, but yeah. Yeah, have a good night, everyone. We'll raid our pal Jitspo here. He's an ex AAA game dev, so he's got some good game dev stuff that he works on. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you keeping me company throughout all the crashes. But thanks for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow.